this. I think I got this from Walmart or something. It was the cheapest one they had. Yard Works, so it was like a pull-in brand, you know, that motor. When I first got it, it wouldn't even start. Well, I started, I had like a million pulls, but it wouldn't run. And all you gotta do with most of these is tune the carb. So a lot of times someone will buy something cheap and it won't work good, and they just think it's a piece of crap. So what you need is this guy here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a spline. It's a spline screwdriver tool. So all your pull-ins and your Yard Works and like your Husqvarna, your homeowner Husqvarna saws and that, you need the spline tool, and they won't sell them to you. You can get them on Amazon. I think it was $9, 1-day shipping. And I got the spline tool. I'm in for my Champion stuff. It's called a single D tool. So they're specialty carb tools. So for this particular one, I just had to go in on the carb, wherever the screws are on it, and they're in the front here. I just had to go into the carb, adjust the low a bit, and she runs like a charm. So cheapest unit on Walmart, I think, on sale, and it's great. I kind of got myself in a little jam here, but this hasn't been started in like, I don't know, 2 months. There's no point getting it warmed up and running it, but you see what I mean, and it works great. I've used this all summer and it's fantastic. When I first got it, I was having trouble with the string. The string was wound down backwards, so I pulled this drum off, got the string wrapped the right way, bought a big roll of string, and it's been great all summer. So if you buy something like this and it's not working right and you don't know how to fix it, a lot of times you can just go to local lawnmower shops or small engine shops, and sometimes they'll just tune them quick for free. I know when I had a pull-in pro chainsaw for a while. That's before I had the adjuster tool and I had to set the carb up. I went to the lawnmower hospital. I walked into the shop in the back. The guy grabbed it and tuned her up and handed it back to me in a couple of minutes and didn't charge me a thing. So if you're having troubles with stuff, sometimes it's not because it's a piece of crap. It's just because they got to be tuned up. So, I don't know, for occasional use, I'm not too scared of buying the cheap stuff. Now, because I don't run things as often as I should, because I got the whippersnapper, the leaf blower, I got a whole bunch of chainsaws, I got so much crap. With the quality of gas these days, sometimes you have something you don't use often. The biggest killer is old gas. So I don't run real gas. I used to think this premix stuff was a joke. I was working someplace one time. I seen this guy had a container of still premix oil. I'm like, what? You can buy premix gas? That's so dumb. Why don't you just mix your own? But I learned, I guess this is true fuel. I don't know, maybe this stuff sucks and everything I own's going to blow up. I don't know. But you can get Husqvarna oil, there's Echo oil, there's all kinds of different brands. I get the 40-to-1. I run 40-to-1 and everything. And all my old dirt bikes I run 32-to-1. I don't go with that 50-to-1 or that 60-to-1 or whatever crap guys are running. They say that new oil you can run less. I don't. 40-to-1, 32-to-1, you know, that's it. So this stuff, see, they guarantee it will stay fresh up to 3 years. So you have something setting, and it doesn't smell like gas. I don't know what it is, like an alcohol or something. I don't know what it is. But it doesn't gum up. You know, and you could have your stuff set for up to 3 years and it'll still start up and run fine. So now all my small engine stuff, I run this stuff, and you know when you grab it to use it, it's just going to work. So that's that. Well, first up I have my 40cc Champion. I bought this from Canadian Tire about a year ago, a little over a year ago, on some big sale. I think it was $175 Canadian. And it works great. It's a great little saw. This hasn't been running since I did that my punk rock story video. So sometime in the middle of the summer, this thing hasn't been running. Champion, I've had to deal with them for a few little things on this saw. Very good customer service. When you buy this saw, I think they have a 2-year warranty. And it comes with a big, thick book, and it's got all the parts breakdowns, so you can phone and get parts. And if it's within that 2 years, it's replaced for free under warranty. So I got nothing bad to say about this saw. It's nice and small and light. And it's got that anti-kickback chain, which some people will argue like, oh, that's not a real chain, it's crap. But you know, it's just a regular anti-kickback chain, and it makes it nice. If there's a bunch of cutting a bunch of scraggly old deadfall that's on the ground and hung up, well, you can kind of, you know, get under stuff and reach around, and it's not aggressive. It doesn't jump around. It's a nice light saw that's actually quite nice to use. So. See that? And that's been setting for a couple months. Second up, 51cc. Johnson at 535. This saw is from the late 80s. I got it for $60. I had to do a few other things to it, but I'm still well under the $200 mark, right? And this is homemade and wild, but I actually have I got a new old stock one of these, and I got the new bar plates and this switch. You gotta shut it off with the choke. But I actually did I have a switch for it too. I just gotta put them all on, so. Love this saw. It's got that old school sound to it. Okay. This one might even be a bit overkill for what we're doing today. We're just cutting old, dead, scraggly, dead standing popple. But here we have it's a John Cutter, 58cc. It's off the Farmer Tech, Hull's former site. So it's a Chinese, ordered from China saw. I haven't used it too much. Hasn't been running since the middle of the summer. And it's got that spin start with the spring and the rewind, so it's kind of weird, but let's see if she'll go. I don't even know if there's gas in it. Oh, I hate that rewind. Dang it. I think there's no gas in it. It hasn't been running months and months and months. It's running a little bit. The saw's like the Champion that got the primer on it. It makes it a lot. They start nicer the first time with that primer. That friggin' spring, you can't just yank it. It's weird. It makes it harder, not easier. Look at me. Alright. Once I get this going, you might find that it's running a bit rich. Maybe, I don't know. It's still pretty new. I'm still breaking it in, so. Let's head out and start hammering some trees down. So the whole point of this is to show that you can viably cut firewood for yourself with a saw that's under $200. So, you know, you see on the internet, everyone's showing their big fancy saws and the portable saws and the pro saws. So it kind of intimidates you. You're like, well, I need a saw, but I don't want to spend like $1,000. So, well, here's to show that you can buy an old cheap saw, you know, used, or you can buy like a Chinese or whatever saw. And a lot of these cheap saws, if you're buying from the right place, they have warranty and customer service. So Haley and these crazy high stumps. But anyways, for those of you who I told that there was some cool chainsaw content coming up, this isn't the cool chainsaw content. This is just me cutting some firewood. Working on a couple saws, but there's parts back ordered, and apparently some part got held up in customs because it's suspected to be a dangerous item or something. And I don't know. So we're getting some chainsaw stuff in. It's just cheap chainsaw stuff, not cool chainsaw stuff. cc. Looks like firewood to me. So, that was quite nice. I like this little saw. I really like this little saw. So you see the tops about there. And then all up to there. So that's what you can get done with one tank of gas with the 40cc Champion. And it was nice. Time to walk back up the hill and grab a different saw. John Surratt 535. This is a 51cc semi-professional saw from the late 80s. I made these up until 91. It's a pretty cool old saw. It's got that old school bark to it. Yeah. I never fixed the switch yet, so I gotta shut it off with the choke so it doesn't restart quite as good as it should. Whew, whew, whew. That was a close one. Now this guy's leaning hard that way. All the weight's on that side. So, fairly big tree. I don't know. Cut big knots and try to drop it down this way, or just let her go the way she wants to go. But cage wire fence is there. Well, I already crushed the fence once, I guess. So, it's tough. So dangerous cutting this wood because it's so just dry and rotten and it's brittle, eh? So like a top can bust off and land on you. So your hinge is really weak, right? You can bust off at the stump at any point in time. So you don't want to risk it too much. What that? Huh. Maybe I can coax it straight this way. I'm gonna try. Yeah. The worst that could happen is, you know, There's nothing good about this wood. It's dead popple. It's no good for anything, not even firewood, but we're using it for firewood because that's what we got, so. There's a lot of it and it's free. They're asking, jeepers, $400 a cord for split, cut and split birch. Imagine buying 10 cord, $4 grand for firewood. Guess we'll deal with the popple, eh? Oh, there's a fence growing in there. You don't want to high stump it above all this dirty old fence here. Gotta get that switch fixed. The switch is literally up at the house. I just gotta put it in. Yeah, I did. See, I high stumped it because it's a friggin' fence. The fence growing into the tree here, so didn't want to get into that. But there you go. The trees actually wasn't too bad of a shape. It had some decent holding wood there, so yeah. Old school 80s 51cc. Very cool saw. I know it's a little bit heavier than the 40 and just a little bit more power, and it's a nice size saw for this type of cutting. Very nice. Got another nice bunch of wood cut. Let's grab another saw. Mr. China, the G5800 John Cutter. It's a Holzforma saw from the Hutzel site. 58cc. It sells for $108 American. With the exchange rate and shipping to Canada, I paid $180 to my door to Canada for this. I ran it a bit, turned up the high a bit. It says I'm low battery on the camera, so if the battery runs out, I'm going to cry. I got everything bucked up. I'm just going to drop this dirty bugger and buck this up, and then we'll start trying to get some of this wood out of here. Somewhere along the line, I didn't even notice it happening, but I guess one time the saw was getting jammed and I gave it a big yank. I don't know if you can see it, but this handle's bent. It kinked here. And look, it almost looks like it was, I don't know, did I do that or did that get hit by something? Huh. Anyways, it seemed to have been pretty easy. I guess that's what you get for buying the cheap China stuff, eh? Well, it bends back. Cool. That's going to break off someday. Well, the John cutter, minus its bent handle, worked quite well. It didn't seem to last very long in a tank of gas. It got what? A third of this big tree bucked up into about 16-inch lengths. I bucked up 2 trees down there and finished, so I don't know. Maybe it lasted as long as all the rest, I don't know. But yeah, runs good. That handle's going to break off someday from bending, but I guess you probably get a new one from China for like $2, so. Pretty nice, powerful saw. So all my saws are under $200. So there you go, just goes to show. If you want to go cut some firewood, you don't need to spend a lot of money on a saw. You know, it's basically about knowing how to tune them and maintain them. You know how they say there's no bad pets, just bad owners? Well, I think it goes the same with chainsaws. Chainsaws are mostly okay if you know how to fiddle with them and keep them running right. Of course, some are way better than others. But so if you've got a saw that's not working right, instead of giving it away or dismissing it as a piece of crap, take it to someone that knows what they're doing, and I'm sure they can get it fixed up fairly easily. Right on, guys. Have a good one. At some point in time, I'm going to have to get all this cut up, and then I'm going to start splitting it with an axe and hauling it out with the tractor. So keep an eye out for that. Well, there we go. Got about 3.5 tanks of gas. Cut. The old scammer ran out of battery, but that John cutter's great. Great saw. Nothing bad to say about it at all. Except for that handle that's made out of cheese, but besides that, it runs nice. Good power. That recoil with the spring in it, that's pretty annoying, but that's a modern feature that somehow better than the regular way. I don't know. There we go, boys. See how Haley cuts his stumps? Those are all nice. Haley cuts his stumps like this with a high back, but he's from Ontario, where he grew up. There's all kinds of big hardwood trees like cherry and oak and stuff, so I guess that's how they do her. I don't. And like, you know what? You're trying to come through a chopping with a tractor or a piece of equipment or something. You got these big high pointy stumps. Like, man, cut them low. Cut them straight and low. There's the stump. But I guess everyone's got their own style. Yeah. That one was pretty gnarly, but she was all safe. All good.